Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. There wasn't much noise in the gym save for the sound of fists hitting leather. Biniyam Shibre danced around the heavy bag with fluorescent lights buzzing above him. Sweat ran down the sharp lines of his jaw. His physique, slim and chiseled from years of training, moved as if it had been made for it, quick, strong, and unyielding. Every jab he launched hit its target with precision. He had a controlled rage that came from both physical discipline and life itself. Biniyam was the fighter to the outside world, the star of reality TV, the underdog who had come out of the dark corners of Ethiopia and into the bright lights of American television. But in the quiet of the gym at night, he was just a man trying to catch his breath, win the next game, and prove to himself that he could handle anything. Until something happened. It began as a whisper, a twitch in his chest. A quick pinch, just the sound of a skipped beat. He shook it aside and kept going, dancing to the silent beat of his willpower. But then it came back, sharper and deeper. A sudden pressure in the middle of his chest, like a fist clenching from the inside out. He came to a stop, held his chest. He started to breathe shallowly. For the first time in years, he seemed scared. He said to himself, "Come on," as he stumbled back and hit the wall with his shoulder. "Come on." But the stress didn't go away. It got worse, wrapping around his ribcage like fire and ice. The ground moved under him. He faltered, stretched out to support himself, and fell to one knee. His eyesight became blurry. A trainer nearby ran to his side and spoke in a distant, echoing voice. "Biniyam, hey, please talk to me, brother. Are you okay?" Biniyam wanted to talk to him, to calm him down, and to laugh it off like he always did. But his lips were too dry and his tongue was too thick. He could only place his fingers against his heart and hope, desperately, that it wasn't what it felt like. Because Biniyam Shibre, a fighter, parent, and warrior, felt like he was losing for the first time. The ambulance screamed through the night in Los Angeles. The lights inside blazed crimson against Biniyam's pale skin. He was tied to the gurney and breathing in short, raspy bursts. Every breath felt like a big deal. A question with every heartbeat. A woman paramedic next to him with tired eyes, and a steady voice put 2 fingers on his wrist. "Pulse is erratic," she said softly. "Pressure going down." She got closer by leaning down. "Biniyam, can you hear me?" He blinked slowly. A brief moment of recognition. She held his hand tightly. "Good. Stay with me. You're going to be fine." He wanted to trust her. But all he could feel was the dull roar in his chest, the type of pain that made time seem to go on forever and then snap back. He wasn't used to feeling this way, helpless. He had always been the one to help others. The one who kept going, who grinned even while they were in pain. But tonight, the body he had worked so hard to build was letting him down. He saw pictures in his head. His son's face, which had baby teeth and big hopes. Ariella's giggle, gentle and musical, sliced through the clamor. The Addis Ababa airport, where he first dreamed of more. The lights of New York, the ring, the camera, and the people. Was this how his story was going to finish after all this time? The siren got louder. Maybe it was just his heart, though. The emergency room smelt like antiseptic and fear. There were doctors all around him. The machines beeped in a way that didn't make sense. There were electrodes put in place. Blood was taken. Questions came at me like bullets. He couldn't handle all of them. He was confused and not paying attention. But one word kept coming up. Heart. No heart attack. No symptoms of blood clots. ECG's not normal, but not serious. Severe chest pain. What about stomach pain? The main doctor, an older man with gray hair and calm hands, leaned over Biniyam and spoke in a quiet, authoritative voice. "It's not a heart attack. It's severe acid reflux that felt like heartache. It hurts a lot. Very scary, but not deadly." Everyone in the room felt a rush of relief, but Biniyam did not. Not yet. His body still hurt, and his head was still echoing with anxiety. But it wasn't a heart attack. That was something. A few minutes later, Ariella stormed into the room with swollen eyes and shortness of breath. She hurried to his side, pushing nurses out of the way. "Biniyam," she said as she held his face. "I thought we had lost you," I said. His lips broke into a smile. "Still here," he said quietly. "It hurts, but I'm still here." She chuckled, even though she was crying, and placed her head on his chest. She listened not only to the blaring monitors, but also to his heart. Still beating. still in a conflict. By the third day, the ache in Biniyam's chest had faded to an echo, like a remembrance of pain instead of pain itself. The physicians kept a tight eye on his vital signs and kept telling him that his heart was fine. They kept saying, a brutal bout of acidity, caused by stress, made worse by hard physical work. It should have made things better. Instead, it made him feel guilty in a peculiar way. He hadn't been attacked or poisoned. He didn't have a heart attack. But something inside him had given way. And that was tougher to convey. That afternoon, Ariella took Avi to the hospital. The small child ran about the hospital room with big eyes, waving his toy truck and yelling, "Dada!" as if his dad had just come back from a lengthy vacation. Biniyam sat up taller and smiled, even though his chest hurt. "Hey, champ," he said softly as he opened his arms. Avi raced into them and hit Biniyam's ribs with the vigor of a toddler. Biniyam winced but laughed through the pain. "Are you okay, Daddy?" Avi questioned, turning his head to the side with interest. "Yeah," Biniyam murmured, kissing his hair. "Daddy just needs to take a break. Training too much." Avi nodded with a serious look on his face. "Stop training now. You stay here with me now." Biniyam stared at Ariella, who was standing in the doorway with sympathetic eyes. He felt something for the first time since the catastrophe, but it wasn't dread or worry. "Thanks." He was still there to hold his son. That had to mean something. Dr. Vasquez came into the room later that night with a clipboard and a look of deep thinking on his face. He was a quiet, meticulous man who spoke slowly and carefully, as if every word had to earn its place in the sentence. He sat down in the chair next to the bed and remarked, "Mr. Shibre, your labs are clean. Your heart doesn't look like it's been hurt. We're letting you go tomorrow." Biniyam nodded, but something in his chest tightened, not from pain but from doubt. "So it wasn't a big deal?" he asked. "Just acid." The doctor bent over. He said, "Let me be very clear. Yes, it was acid reflux, but very bad, and it was caused by more than just eating. The body isn't separate from anything else. Stress is real. Tired of thinking. Too much training. All of this can show up in the body in scary ways. You're lucky it wasn't worse." Biniyam took a deep breath. "Why did it feel like my heart was going to stop?" "Because, in a way, your body did think it was. Pain is an indication. You didn't pay attention to enough. In the end, your body makes you listen. There was a break. Mr. Shibre, don't ignore this wake-up call. You are strong, but even powerful men need to sleep. Take a break." The term was hard for him to say. Biniyam sat alone with his phone that night. There were a lot of notifications on the screen, including headlines, fan messages, and media speculation. He thought about it for a second before opening the camera app. The warrior in the mirror wasn't in top shape. He was a man in a hospital gown with black circles under his eyes and a weakness that years of training couldn't hide. And this time, he didn't back down from the picture. He pressed record. He said, "Hey," into the camera. His voice was low, truthful. "I know a lot of you have been frightened. Thanks for your prayers and messages. I could feel them. I was in a lot of agony in my chest. It felt like a heart attack, but it wasn't. It was acid, tension, and being tired. My body is telling me to take it easy. I've always thought it was important to push. Fighting. Putting in a lot of effort. Showing what I can do. But I might have forgotten that being strong doesn't always mean pushing through. Stopping is sometimes a sign of strength. Paying attention. Letting yourself get better. I'm still here. Still in the struggle. But now it's a little different." The next day, the discharge papers came. The nurses helped him get dressed. Ariella brought him new clothes, and Avi gave him a folded-up sketch with scribbles, stick figures, and a crooked heart in the middle. Avi stated with pride, "This is us. And this is your strong heart." Biniyam slowly knelt down and hugged him tight. His chest still hurt, but it wasn't the kind of pain that said something bad was going to happen. It was the kind that made him remember that he was alive, and life, which was frail, short, and not flawless, was still his to live. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.